So to create a map for my worldbuilding project, I was looking for inspiration in all kinds of places. And what ended up helping me the most was actually this slow motion video of two eggs being thrown at each other and how they break apart. And this helped me to finally come up with this map, which represents the structure of the planet in our worldbuilding project. Okay, so where we left off the last time was that we decided basically that the whole planet is created because one god is imprisoning another god that he had a fight with inside of a planet. What we want to do now is actually design how this planet would look. Again, and in my imagination it would probably happen in a way that there's basically this god, and then there's two shapes of, or maybe planets, I don't know, and the god pushes both of them together, so there's these two halves and then two balls, and then they get pushed together and build this basically the new planet. And I kind of wanted the whole structure of the world and the map and everything to represent this has been how the planet has been created. And I've been doing some research on if I can find any way how a planet should look like that was formed in this kind of way. So the only thing I really could come up with is this one. Two eggs collide at 6,900 FPS. It's still a little bit too fast to see what's really going on. But if you slow it down a little bit more and you play this video, right here we can actually kind of see exactly what I had in mind for the whole world. So these two eggs get thrown at each other, and we could just imagine that our god that is imprisoned is sitting right here between them, and then these two halves get crashed into each other. And then you have your new planet. Okay, and if you look at it now at this, at these frames, I think you can pretty nicely see that there's right down in the middle where the two spheres collide, you have a lot of very small parts of shell, it breaks into smaller parts, and then you have a few larger here, and at the top, or at the outermost part, it actually doesn't get affected too much. From this I got the idea that this is kind of the tectonic plate structure that our planet should have. Okay, so I thought about what our tectonic plates should look like for the planet, and this is the structure that I came up with. So as you can see, we have large, or not large, but big intact plates at the top of the planet. At the bottom, then we have a few larger plates in the middle area, here and here and here. And then in the middle area, here where the two balls collide, there's a lot of smaller plates. And when I finished this structure for the tectonic plates, I was kind of happy with it. So from this plate structure, I've watched a lot of tutorials and videos on explanations on plate tectonics, and try to determine how these plates could move and what kind of effect it would have on the surface. So after watching all of these videos, I decided on which of these plates roughly would be continental and oceanic plates, and then used this. I guessed it kind of randomly, but then with this information I tried to determine. So for example, here these oceanic plates at this area, they would probably drift away from each other, which then would result in a lot of volcanic islands being built, and the tectonic plates here and there, they all move under the continental plate, so we would have mountains here, and here. These plates here, they move apart from each other, so we would have a lot of volcanic islands as well. And So all of these kind of things I try to figure out to have like a somewhat realistic picture of what happens in the world. Okay, so then I marked in basically where we have like mountains and islands and rifts, where the what kind of surface we should have because of the tectonic plates. And okay, so and then after cleaning all of those ideas up, we got to this a little bit more cleaner height map, and you can still see the tectonic plates. So we have like continental plates here and there and there, and the big ones at the top and bottom, and then a lot of the oceanic plates, and there have been added a lot of islands on the borders of these plates. Yeah. And I think it's alright. Like I'm actually quite happy with the plate. I think with the map it leaves like a lot of potential for like an interesting world. The first thing I did now was then to convert like this height map into an usable black and white height map. And then through a lot of different tutorials on YouTube, I found this software called Gaia. And in Gaia you can import height maps into a simulation software. Okay, so I built this whole node structure where it simulates like where snow should be depending on the height, and where the coastline and the water level is, and then you connect all of those things, and in the end you get like a simulated map, which is has a lot more like rougher edges and texture. So I think it looks a lot more realistic for a map. So this left me with this map for like a more realistic version of the planet. I mean, you can still kind of see where the plates were in the beginning and how they resulted in the surface, the shape of the surface. And I think that's actually like a really good starting point for the map. The only thing that's now still lacking is the climates and the vegetation, and where you have like deserts and more rocky mountains, and where you have like jungles or forests. And for example, the North Pole and South Pole, like the big caps at the top and the bottom, are still green in this version, and of course they should be covered with ice. So that's what we'll probably do in the next session to really finish up this map, and then we have this a good foundation for the rest of the world building process.